Hey, how's it going? Brandon back. Part 2 of this video. The best death metal albums post the year 2000, in my humble opinion. So, the first video I did the classic bands that you have already should have heard of. Today is going to be bands that came later, some newer bands, maybe some bands that have some older dudes in it, but you'll see shortly. There's going to be 20 albums here. 23 because I've got a few honorable mentions that I want to bang through. The first of which, Abominable Putridity, The Anomalies of Artificial Origin. This came out in 2012. Decrepit Birth, Polarity, came out in 2010. And Devourment, Butcher the Week, came out in 2005. The reason I set those three aside is because I could have made a whole separate list just for the more brutal aspect of death metal, brutal death metal bands. I really wanted to include those, so they'll just get an honorable mention. And then, so this is the top 20 death metal albums, my opinion, past the year 2000. I'm going to do the CDs first and then the records. Again, these are all just in alphabetical order. I was not going to attempt to rank these in terms of how much I liked one over the other. But Decapitated, Nihility. This one came out in 2002. This is just straightforward technical death metal, but it's not overly technical. I mean, I heard the song Spheres of Madness. My roommate was blasting that album back when we were in college. And I heard that song and I went over to his room and my eyes were just wide open. I was like, what is this? Amazing album, Spheres of Madness. I love that song. Hate Eternal, I Monarch. This could have been one of the albums that I included in my video for the albums that got me into death metal. I got this very early on. Came out in 2005. This is Eric Rutan from Morbid Angel and Ripping Corpse, his newest band, Hate Eternal. Death metal with a little bit of technicality to it. Pretty righteous. I could have picked a lot of different Hate Eternal albums because they pretty much all came out after the year 2000. But I went with this one because it's the first one that I got from Hate Eternal. Up next, Hail of Bullets, of Frost and War. This came out in 2008 as a sort of a side project. Martin Van Drunen from Pestilence and Asphyx fronted this band. They just recently called it quits, which was a bummer because I thought that, along with Bolt Thrower, they were a perfect war-themed death metal band. So, that's up your alley. Definitely listen to Hail of Bullets. And then Skinless, Trample the Weak, Hurl the Dead. Fun little note. I ordered this CD off of Amazon, and they sent me the Japanese version with the little OBI strip. So you never know what you're going to get when you're working with Amazon, but sometimes it turns out to be pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen the Japanese version of this CD floating around, but this is just really brutal shit. Again, this is like early on the kind of shit that I was into when it came to death metal. That really gory, just brutal kind of stuff. And that one came out in the year 2006. That's important to mention the date, right? Because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. Alright, records. Bloodbath, Nightmares Made Flesh, 2004. Members of Catatonia, Opeth. On this album specifically, you have Dan Sueno on guitars from Edge of Sanity, and Peter Tägtgren from A whole bunch of shit. He is in a lot of different fucking bands. Or maybe he was the one that was in Edge of Sanity. I'm fucking this video up already. But anyways, this is like a death metal super group. And phenomenal album from Bloodbath. Sometimes when a lot of these guys from different bands get together and put out an album, it falls short. But Bloodbath, every single record they've done, I love. Even the newest one where they got Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost to do vocals. Yeah, this record fucking kicks ass. I love Bloodbath. Next up, Blood Incantation. Now, I tried to keep as many records from 2016 off this list as I could because I feel like that's a little bit too recent to start ranking these with some of the other greats. But believe the hype around this record. It's very real. I've talked about this band. Seems like they sneak into almost every video that I make. But definitely on this list. Starspawn 2016. Another one from 2016. I think this is the only other one from 2016. Catalyst, Le Dernier Crepuscule. This is just total Demolich worship. Demolich. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Fuck off. Yeah, I mean the vocals on this just hit so deep. I don't even know how to describe it. You just have to listen to it. And it's very technical, but it's not obnoxious. It's the songwriting here is just top notch. I'll try and leave some links for some of these, but I don't want to spoil it. People just click in the description and see what I had in my list. So I'll try and put some links so you can listen to the stuff that I'm showing, but just check it out. You're gonna have to trust me. Take my word for it. All right. Like I said in the previous video, I've got some notes here to help me remember the years that these came out in because I'm not going to remember the year for 20 albums right off the top of my head. Who the fuck do you think I am? Alright, Cruciamentum. Charnel Passages. This came out in 2015. UK death metal. A lot of really cool bands coming out of the UK right now. Cruciamentum at the top of my list. There's the back cover so you can see their logo. It's got like kind of a modern style approach to it, but it's not produced in a manner where you would think, oh, this has to be new. You can hear that there is definitely an influence of old on here, and Cruciamentum, just really dig this. Got a lot of albums here, so some of these I'm going to try and keep quick. Next up, we've got Dead Congregation with Promulgation of the Fall. This came out in 2014, I believe. 2015. Excuse me. But yeah, this one made my top 25, I think I did for 2015. But very, very solid death metal. Again, you're just going to have to check it out for yourself. But there's a lot of really great bands going right now. A lot of really, really good albums coming out. And this is one that I fucking worship. Disma. Towards the Megalith. Came out in 2011. Love, love, love the artwork for this one. Craig Pillard from Incantation, vocals for this band. A lot of heavy hitters on this. Chaos Apparition, Chasm of Oceanus, Spectral Domination, Lost in the Burial Fog, the title track to close things out. It just doesn't get much better than this after the year 2000. If I were to rank these, number one. Alright, next up. Entrails, Raging Death from 2013. As you can tell by the logo, this is pure Entombed worship. These guys aren't really doing anything new, but it's not going to stop me from including them here. This is just Swedish death metal, but it's done right. I mean, At this point, it's all been done before for the most part. Bands, just stick to the formula, but Entrails do it a little bit better, in my opinion. Up next, Funebrarum, The Sleep of Morbid Dreams, came out in 2009. This is a band that combines elements of doom metal, or funeral doom even, with death metal. I think that this album and Disma's Toward the Megalith are really exceptional death doom styled albums, because they're just so slow, so heavy, so crushing. That's all I'm gonna say about this one. Just listen to this shit. You really just gotta listen to every album that I'm showing right now, because I'm showing them for a reason. They're fucking good. Next up, Gruesome, Savage Land, 2015. Again, these guys, out of everybody, of course, aren't doing anything new. This is a death tribute band when it comes down to it. But, a lot of bands could have tried to do this, and a lot of bands would have did Chuck dirty. But these guys, man, they just carrying the torch. I love this shit so much. Up next, Pissgrave, Suicide Euphoria, 2015. Just take a look at that cover art for a moment, will you? That'll give you an idea of just how fucking filthy this album is. I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard a more disgusting sounding album, period. But if I had to give you some sort of comparison, it reminds me of early Deicide mixed with Revenge. It's really noisy, really raw, grimy as hell. But yeah, this would have been a contender for number 1 on this list had I ranked them, along with Disma. This one, I see some people hold in very high regard, but other than that, I don't see people talk about it as much as some of these other ones, and that is Repugnant, Epitome of Darkness. Came out in 2006. Excuse me. Man, this shit is so fucking good. Check out the back cover there. The guitar tone on this album is just, ooh, like a fucking chainsaw, man. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna spin this album right after I'm done with this video. Up next, Sulfur Aeon. This is Gateway to the Antisphere. It came out in 2015. The packaging on this record, flawless. I love the slipcase, and then the artwork here. You got this Cthulhu type creature. This is just absolutely monstrous death metal. I think it was Infidel Amsterdam who introduced me to Sulfur Aeon, which is really cool, because kind of like coming full circle, the guys who I used to watch videos of talking about records like this, and now I'm making a video talking about this record, so it's kind of cool. Alright, next up, Tribulation. This is the horror, and it came out in 2009. Century Media reissue. This album is pure Swedish death metal, and then these guys went on to become something totally different. I like their new album, Children of the Night. I thought it was really good, but it's just so much different. I kind of wish that they had just stayed with their straight up death metal approach, because they did it really fucking good. Really good. This one, people need to know this record, man. Trench Rot, Necronomic Warfare. I believe this one came out in, let me check, 2013, I think. 2014. Trench Rot. Steve Jansen, guitarist of Crypt Sermon. This is his band. I saw this advertised as a combination of Asphyx and Bolt Thrower, which immediately got me rock fucking hard. And this shit is exactly that. Does not disappoint. You need to listen to this album. If you want to listen to any of these albums, listen to this one. I'm telling you. And then last one, I'll get out of your hair. This is Vastum, Patricidal Lust. They did an alternate cover for the vinyl release. And this is just really like, reading the lyrics for this, you'll be like, what sick fuck came up with this shit? I mean, it's just so gross. It really is. But it's perfect for death metal. It really is. California. Did I already say this? What year this came out in? I don't fucking know. I'm losing track at this point. 2013. But yeah. This came out on 20 Buck Spin. Really good record. Like all these records. So yeah, I'll try and leave some links in the description. Check them out if you want to. This was a really fun idea for me to do. It was really fun to put the list together. I like talking about death metal. I like talking about these records. If any of you other guys out there want to do a similar video, go for it. That'd be awesome to watch. So, as always, thank you for subscribing, watching these videos. Otherwise, why the fuck would I do them? Liking, commenting, all that. And until the next time, take care.